The final race of the opening round of the Outlaws Sim Series playoffs takes us to the Charlotte Roval, one of the most tight and technical road courses on the schedule, and 60 hard and gritty laps around this beast of a circuit is coming up next on Pit Stop TV. Good evening all, and welcome to the virtual Concord, North Carolina. Ed Scher is alongside for the call this evening. And Ed, what are the challenges of a track like this in the playoffs, and what can they cause in the playoffs?
Well, honestly, Emerson, I'm going to steal one of the words that you just used. This track is very, very technical, in my opinion. I ran a couple of laps here earlier on in the day, and it's very interesting with how these next-gen cars react with this track. It's very, I would say, off-balance, it feels like, on some of the inner parts of this track. It's just a lot of tricky corners that this car has, you know, a little bit of edginess to where when you get on the brakes, the back end wants to snap loose, and you're either going to fight loose or you're going to fight tight. You may even struggle under braking or have great corners off of braking, but it's going to be a lot of adjustments, I feel like, with these drivers tonight. It's going to be a lot of mental games, physical, and maybe some emotional. You never know. I mean, we might see a little bit of beef going on tonight, you know, because we have a cutoff race, and you know, when it's a cutoff race, Emerson, we got to say goodbye to a couple of drivers from this first round and on to the second round next week. But it's going to be interesting to see how some of these guys are going to play out tonight. I know we don't have a big field as we're usually used to, but it's still going to be a competitive field, and I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, well, we're up over 20 drivers tonight, and Ed, tonight we have two previous winners of the Charlotte Roval in the field tonight. The Charlotte Roval ran in Season 1, was won by Adrian Schumacher. The Charlotte Roval ran in Season 2, was won by Landon Lacey. Both of those drivers are in attendance tonight, and we have the opportunity to see a battle like no other, because Adrian did not compete in the Truck Series season, and likewise, Lacey did not compete in the Xfinity Series season. So now, both of them on the same track as previous Roval winners. That is going to be quite the battle, and I can't wait to see how that goes. But as what you mentioned, Ed, tonight is a cutoff night. This is Elimination Wednesday here in the Outlaws Sim Series. And let's get down to business, Ed. We have our playoff standings. 4 drivers are in, 2 via wins, 2 via points. Schumacher got his win done and dusted away on the opening race of the playoffs at the Daytona road course. Seth Fitzpatrick took care of business last race 2 weeks ago at the Milwaukee Mile. The Charlotte Roval, which should have been last week, is now what we're running tonight. We also, again, want to... Okay, whatever. We'll get to that in a second. But Max and Seth have locked themselves in 5 points. Max being well over 100 points and Seth being over 90 points ahead. There's just no way, unless there's a penalty, that they can lose the amount of points that they have right now. There's no way they can not score points tonight and miss the cut line. They are in well over a race worth of points. Now we're looking at the drivers that are pretty much locking themselves in tonight, Ed, if they were to win. We have some clinching scenarios that we'll go throughout the evening as well. But Stutzman, Jennings, Scott Bailey, those guys are pretty much not 100%, but they will more than likely be in as soon as the race starts. Jacob Reeves will be very close as well. Devin Smith, he'll need probably a couple people to fall out of the race before he gets to lock in. And then it gets down to the nitty gritty here at these next 5 drivers, because the 15 and 16, they're ineligible now to even advance. Even if they were to show up and win tonight, Bothell and McMurtry, they're gone. But between Gardner and Gilliard, this is going to be the battle that we're watching out tonight, Ed.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to say the least, and I'm really going to be paying attention to between Doug Solms, Andrew St. Cyr, Matt Rogers. Doug Solms, he's a really good road course racer. He's very underrated in road course racing. I mean, he had not the greatest of luck at the Daytona road course, but I mean, when we went to, I believe it was Canadian Tire, he had a good run showing up at Canadian Tire. So he definitely has some road course experience in his background. Adam Gardner, I feel like he'll be able to clinch easily tonight. I think he just needs to play it safe and work on stage points. But a lot of these drivers, honestly, that are in this kind of bubble, as you would say, Emerson, they just need to worry about basically keeping all 4 tires straight and on the track. No mistakes. You know, there's a lot of chances for mistakes at this track, especially being one of the more technical road courses that we're going to be at on the season. You know, we have those, you know, famed, you call it turtles, you know, Emerson, and You know them. They're very, very treacherous and very not friendly to these cars, especially these next-gen cars. If you hit that turtle at the wrong angle, you're going to be going for a decent spin.
Absolutely. And you mentioned it, Ed. We're here at the Charlotte Roval. You know, we're going to be talking a lot about the difficulties of a track like this evening. Let's just get right down to it, Ed. Let's talk about what we're putting these drivers up against tonight. And this is a very fast-paced lap. There is action pretty much every corner. You don't really have any straightaways to take a break, Ed. This is almost the complete opposite as Daytona. It's the same concept of an oval turned into a road course with 2 added chicanes and an infield section. But this track, it drives completely different than Daytona. You start the lap coming off that final chicane. You're trying to keep the car straight. The rear tire struggling for grip into a hard braking zone. Left-hander, dubbed as the heartburn turn there, turn number 1. And then if you can make it through that, you got a very difficult corner that you struggle a lot with traction through turn 2. Then once you get the car settled and straightened out of 2, you have turns 3 and 4, which is a very technical set of corners. 3 and 4, it's a lot of being precise with your throttle application and car placement there, also known as the hammerhead. 3 and 4. There's a little bit of a infield straightaway there between 4 and 5 before you head up to the redneck roller coaster. That's what the locals call it, especially when you're talking about the Legends road course here. But 5 and 6 and 7, that complex there, very difficult as well. You're going uphill, braking, trying not to hit the inside wall that pretty much jets out there at the apex of 6. 7 and 8, pretty much very similar. Inverse of turns 3 and 4. Actually, not, well, yeah, inverse, I guess, of turns 3 and 4. Before you get back onto the oval, which isn't even an easy task coming out of 8. 9 and 10, and the back straightaway, that's your only real break of the lap. Before you have a heavy braking zone for the chicane at turn 11. Then that's where those turtles will be very prominent there. On inside turn 11, at the apex of 11 and 12, and of course on the front straightaway chicane as well. You come out of 12, you have NASCAR 3 and 4. Pretty simple, but before you even off of NASCAR 4, Ed, you are hard braking on your way to the front straightaway chicane, which has another dose of the sausage curb or turtles all the way around this track. And the pit lane itself isn't even the same pit lane as the oval. You have to take a hard left turn before you actually hit the end of the pit lane if you were running the oval. So lots of challenges tonight, Ed. Again, it is on the premises of an oval, but it is a road course, and it is a difficult one, probably the most difficult one on the schedule.
Yeah, and actually probably one of my favorite. I think this is definitely easily in my top 2, with Watkins Glen being number 1, of course, for me being my home track. But like you mentioned, Emerson, we're going to be talking about these turtles all night tonight. But the big thing we have to watch, you actually have to take it a little bit more aggressive and actually hit those turtles almost for both 11 and 12 and 16 and 17. Because you want to get as much speed carry into those corners as you possibly can. And another thing we're going to have to watch, brake lockup. I'm definitely expecting to see a lot of brake lockups from these drivers tonight, trying to push it a little too hard maybe in those corners. As we know, we have those braking markers on the back straight from 10 to 11. You know, some guys may be braking early, playing it a little bit passive into that corner, but some people may full send it if you're side by side and you really desperately want that position for a stage or even possibly a stage win. You might have to send it a little bit over your boundaries and maybe know how far you can actually break into these corners without locking up and hurting those tires. But from what I experienced earlier, I think we're going to be looking at tires a little bit more differently than we have any other road course tonight, especially the rear tires. I just felt this car was a little unstable after about 20 or maybe 30 or so laps. I know it's going to be a little different now with the open setup, how adjustments will be, but I just wasn't really into how the rear tires locked up here at this track, so it'll be interesting to see how the drivers react after we get around the 20-30 lap mark in this race.
Yeah, so there we are. We've set the scene. We've set the stage. We have our characters. We have our plot points. Now to see how the story is written, Ed. We have set ourselves up for a beautiful show this evening, and well, it's time to get down to it. But before we do that, let's kind of go ahead and look at what's going forward here with the Outlaws Sim Series. We have, of course, the schedule that we've talked about, and Of course, this opening round, the pace of it kind of was deterred a little bit, because the opening round we had Daytona Road Course, of course, to start off the playoffs. Then we headed into Milwaukee, and then we were supposed to head straight into the Charlotte Roval, but with 2 tropical storms hitting North America within the span of 4 days, knocking out power, internet, and just affecting so many people, especially some of the first responders in the league that needed to be focused on, of course, doing their jobs. Adam and the rest of the admins at the Outlaws Sim Series decided it was just in the series' best interest to just push the series back a week. So many people have been affected, especially for an elimination race. If it's feasible, let's just push it back a week. And we worked out everything. We were able to schedule everything correctly. And the Charlotte Roval, again, now we're running a week later than what we were slated to do, Ed. But here we are. And once again, all of our thoughts and prayers to everybody affected by the natural disasters that kind of hit up North America over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a couple friends in Florida. Even a coworker of my mom actually said that her coworker actually went back to Florida to check on any damage, and she had no house left, actually. She had nothing. All of her stuff was washed away and gone. They actually started a GoFundMe for her to help anything survival, possibly to get her back on her feet and hopefully get her home back and anything that she possibly baked. But definitely prayers out to everybody in Florida for all that just terrible weather that they experienced. And actually had a little bit of that coming up to the north side with North Carolina too and some stuff. So, had a little bit of flooding and rain, but other than that, they were okay. But definitely Florida got the worst of it, and our prayers are with them. But look at the rest of the schedule, Emerson. This next round too, it's just going to be very interesting to say the least with the mixture that we have. Talking from a short track to a super speedway, then to probably one of the more harder racetracks to handle, probably racing wise in Darlington. I think Darlington, I know we're all going to be pointing at that Talladega. We are. Absolutely. You absolutely have to. But I think Darlington, on the other hand, has got to be the other track that we have to look at. You and me both know Darlington, Emerson. They call her the Lady in Black for a reason. She just fights you all night long. It is just a mess to handle at Darlington. You at least have to get your Darlington stripe at least once. So you're at least going to know somebody's going to hit the wall at least once and get that stripe. But it's definitely tire abusive. You have to hit your marks, and that probably might be the trickiest pit road entry on this circuit, in my opinion. I've never seen a pit road entry as tricky as Darlington.
Absolutely. There's quite a few. Really, you can figure like Dover. But yeah, this is Darlington. It's so far off the racing surface. It's like 5 lanes off the racing surface. They have to get down to pit road speed. You got Homestead, Atlanta, North Wilkes for the third round. Which doesn't sound too bad until you realize they resurfaced and redid the Atlanta Motor Speedway to be basically another super speedway type race. And we then head from North Wilkesboro into another short track for the season finale at the Richmond Raceway. So that is the outlook on the playoffs. That's what we got coming up. This is who we have going into battle tonight and who may be going into battle next Wednesday night at Lakeland, Florida's USA International. We set the stage tonight, Ed. And now let's get down to practice and see what we're going to be having to kick this bad boy off. And looking at the practice times, Ed, a little bit of a surprise that Joshua Belliot has topped Adrian Schumacher atop the standings, but no surprise in terms of the drivers up inside that top 5, top 10 area.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got a couple of road course ringers in this top 5 mix. Joshua Belliet, low-key, we kind of missed him a couple of times at the road courses. He did run pretty well when we did go to the Daytona road course. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he was running a top 5, maybe top 6 race. But it was Adrian who dominated that race, and he's running P2 right now. But I think Adrian honestly isn't worried about the practice times. I think he's worried about more of his race pace overall, so we'll have to see when that happens. But we got Jonathan Jennings, Vincent Cortez, and Seth Berger running at the top 5. So I see a lot of the Swift Racing bunch, again, on this road course, bringing some good pieces to these road courses, which is a good sign. But too bad, though, this is the last road course we really have on this circuit on the season, too. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least, how these guys perform tonight.
Absolutely. And again, I'm very excited that we did have some car count this evening, Ed. And we'll get into playoff clinching scenarios as soon as we see how many drivers start the race this evening, Ed. But the only real drivers that can throw off those playoff clinching scenarios, by the way, tonight also, is if it were to be a win by Doug Solms or James Gilliard. And I don't even see a James Gilliard. So we're looking at if Doug Solms can win, that would kind of throw off the playoff scenarios. But we do have scenarios for if Doug Solms wins and if anyone else in the field were to win this evening. And there we go. Adrian Schumacher tops the charts. But taking a look at the practice times here, Ed, is there anyone who catches your eye? Anyone you want to try to bring up here and see if you can pick their brain right before we get things going off tonight?
You know, I know he's not high on the practice charts tonight, but why don't we talk to the guy that won it last season? How about we talk to Landon Lacey, possibly, see what he's got his eyes on, possibly for this race tonight.
I'm looking for him. I don't see a Landon Lacey. I'd love to talk to him as well.
Well, but I don't see it. How about we get the other guy that won season 1? How about we get Adrian Schumacher?
Sure, I think everyone's looking at him as the odds-on favorite. Here he comes, headed your way. Top of the practice charts, driver number 82, Adrian Schumacher.
Yeah, he just jumped the top of the practice charts. So Adrian Schumacher, you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Adrian. I mean, we're back in familiar territory with you. It's like we never left the road courses for you, but you know, going from a different road course though, from Daytona road course to the Charlotte Roval, some would say it's a little bit more complicated than the Daytona road course. Would you agree with that, and possibly share any input you have on that?
Yeah, I think in terms of like how complicated it is, I think they're pretty similar, but here you got to deal with a lot of unnatural bumps that a regular road course doesn't have. And other than that, the transitions are all different, and it's a whole different beast.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think this track is really more complicated than anything, but I want to shift a little bit over a little bit to the playoff side. So you had that race clinching win at Daytona a couple weeks ago, and you had somewhat of a not decent run at Milwaukee a couple weeks ago. Do you look at tonight maybe to spoil somebody, possibly to try and make their way in? I know there's a couple of people that need to win their way in, but do you look like you could possibly sneak out a win here tonight and maybe spoil somebody's night that's looking for playoff hopes for the next round?
Yeah, I mean, the plan coming to these road courses is to win. I didn't really think of knocking anybody out, though. Mostly just getting as much playoff points as possible heading into the next round, so I don't become that guy that has to in a must-win situation.
Oh man, Adrian, you are crazy enough, but man, I mean, you always bring a great road course pieces no matter where we go, and I think you're looking to go about 3 for 4 in the year, if I remember correctly. I think you're looking to go almost 3 for 4, 3 for 5. I can't remember exactly, but good luck tonight to you, Adrian, and hopefully we'll be talking to you later. And be careful of that turn 1 wall, man. It comes up on you quick.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
And that was driver of the number 82, Adrian Schumacher. Again, in great spirits. He's locked in to the next round of the playoffs by virtue of his Daytona road course win. So all he's doing tonight, Ed, is racing for the win. And that's exactly what we're about to find out, how it's going to go down here with qualifying about to start here. And time is ticking over, Ed. We're going to get to see these drivers lay it all on the line. One of the most difficult qualifying sessions on the season, and I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited to see who's going to bring what to when it comes to qualifying. This is where your laps got to count no matter what, and why not start off with a guy who I think might win this pole right here on the first start, Adrian Schumacher, our winner from Daytona Road Course, since he's got enough confidence in this 82 Toyota machine to possibly put it on the front row.
And more than likely, this is somebody we're going to ride on board with throughout the race tonight as well, Ed. We're going to see just how you are able to take this course, what you're able to do, what you need to do around here to maximize your potential around here. Adrian Schumacher definitely is going to be one of those guys. We hear Adrian, I'm not going to spill his secrets on broadcast, but he does some crazy things throughout the lap to even get this, get the times that he does. I mean, he puts in the work. Adrian Schumacher is the one, he puts in the most work out of anybody, and it shows when he comes to these road courses.
Yeah, why don't we take a ride along with him going down this back straightaway here. I'll show the viewers a little bit of how to experience this Charlotte Roval with this NextGen car coming down this bus stop. You want to be heavy braking, going off in this corner. You want to cheat your way a little bit to that left to where that paint area to try to carry up as much runoff speed as you can. Then, like you said, Emerson, going down in this oval 3 and 4. Could be another high-speed zone coming down into this heavy braking zone. You want to make sure you don't walk up them tires, but down all the way from 5th to 2nd gear, maybe some even from 4th to 2nd. Hit a little bit of those curves, like I mentioned, and start your lap at the start-finish, going down to turns 1. Want to be careful, like I said, that turn 1 wall up there is going to be very treacherous when you come down to that restart zone.
So let's go ahead and take a look at other drivers throughout the field here. How about the 2 of Seth Fitzpatrick? One of the drivers looking to get themselves into the next round of the play. Oh, I'm sorry. No, he won at Milwaukee, so he's already locked in. Another driver who can compete, who doesn't have to worry about points this evening, and he just misses the back straightaway chicane there. So let him re-gather himself. And Jonathan Jennings had a mistake there, and he crossed the start-finish line. That is some bad news bears. The 91 machine. He's going to go around as well. Jennings is not looking too hot. Luckily for him, he might have the points to just pretty much start tonight's race and be locked into the next round. We will confirm that at the time of the green flag. Well, after the field takes the green flag. So let's, I guess, find our way down to... Well, let's go to a non-playoff. Let's see, Joshua Balliet. Okay, this driver showed up. This is a driver who's had a stellar round in the playoffs here. If he were a full-time driver in the playoffs, this driver, he would certainly be locked in because he has an average finish of 2nd. He's only finished 2nd in this round. He finished 2nd at the Daytona Road Course. He dominated Milwaukee and finished 2nd in Milwaukee. And he was leading practice charts up until the final moments today, Ed. What are the chances that we get somebody like this in his second 3 races in a row?
Well, it's about 2 times now that Joshua Balliet has been kind of cursed. He was at the top of the charts for the qualified just now, and then Adrian Schumacher just did the same thing again and went fastest again. So it could be interesting. I think Joshua Balliet, from what I've seen in practice, he has a good sense of this track. I mean, if you watched him hit over those curves in the first straightaway, he looked like he had all the stability in his 7 Chevrolet. But, I mean, it just looks like he's understanding what he needs out of his car and what he needs to do to be able to hit these corners properly and carry as much speed as he can. As you see him going down the back straightaway here. You see, just hitting the curves. That's what you're going to need to do to be able to run a fast lap here at the Roval, is just be able to take those curves and have a car that's able to manage hitting that. It's just what you need, basically.
So we're going to go ahead and look at here on board of Andrew's car. And this is a driver, again, making a second start here in the Outlaws Sim Series. And you can't see it because his last name, which is stamped on there by iRacing Zen, is unfortunately going over it. But if you can read in between the lines there, it says Andrew Cardinale the 5th, due January 2023. Yes, Andrew, driver here of the 90, a man who runs the show here at Pit Stop TV. He is going to be a dad, and he'll be bringing in well, his girlfriend will be bringing in a baby boy January 23rd. I'm sorry, January 2023, and cannot wait to hear all about it from Andrew. I'm sure he's very excited, and he did request that we take this on board at least once. We could see that little decal there on the inside of his car. So look at some of the drivers throughout the qualifying lineup. Scott Bailey in the 11 machine. This is a driver who is looking pretty close to lock himself in this evening. He's actually very much on pace with the car count we have right now, but 4 minutes before we can confirm anything. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm just very interested to see what other drivers are going to possibly take to the track to get qualifying times, and I'm looking for interesting core possibly to hit the track soon and get a lap in, but maybe it's a little bit of strategy, maybe starting the back, avoid any chaos that might happen going into turn one, which we definitely would see at some road courses. If we see Scott look like a little bit more of an aggressive entry into the front stretch chicane through there. I was a little interested. It looked like a car looked like it got loose, or if it was on my end that maybe it looked like that, but looks like Scott's going to stop his lap there, running at 21.5 and stop it there. But Jeremiah Stutzman now coming through the front straightaway chicane. See what kind of lap he even improves on. He ran a 22.1 before. He does improve to a 21.8. Going to stay in 10th position right now, but not the qualifying for him right now. He's going to see if he can maybe pick it up on this third lap.
That's right, Ed. Great point there. You said these drivers do have 3 laps to get the job done around here, and he is on that third lap. Along with Andrew, Jonathan Jennings is out there trying to get a valid lap, and I think it's a good thing Jennings had the bonus points coming into this round, because it does not look like road courses are Jonathan Jennings' strong suit.
I don't know. Jennings showed some good strength in practice earlier. Maybe it's just a little bit of incident that he may have had in qualifying that he just wasn't used to. Maybe with the way the tires reset now, maybe he had a little bit more heat than he did in practice than he was used to in qualifying. So he definitely had some pace. So I'm looking for this 91 to have a good day today at the Charlotte Roval, as we didn't really see him at the Milwaukee Mile. So he's going to have to hope he has a good run here. I know he's clinched in, but I mean, you got to keep up your winning. You got to keep up your hot streak at some point, you know?
He's not clinched in yet. Technically, he does have to take the green flag with a field size smaller than 39, which one of those is checked, but we have yet to take the green flag, so not yet. Can't officially say he's locked in. That is a time by the stripe for the 91 of Jennings, and no time registered there, so this is going to be it for Jennings. If he can make it back around this time, this is going to be his only time that counts.
Yeah, he must have had an off track somewhere and got his time disallowed. Maybe went over the curve a little too much, but a good little inner part right there. Let's see if he can maybe get it through the little redneck part up here. Gonna have to go wide so you can basically cut this corner in. Some people would like to stick their rights over that little curbing as you saw there on the right, Emerson. I personally like to do that, and I love to cut the left here so closely, and you want to just barely get close to that wall without hitting it and gain as much speed as you can coming off that exit right back onto the oval 1 and 2.
And that part you're referring to is the redneck roller coaster, not just the
redneck the roller coaster. Let's get a roller coasters.
Could be 2 completely different meanings. I want to make sure that is correct. Let's just call it turns 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, that sounds better than redneck. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Redneck roller coaster.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah, the
Let's
redneck roller coaster.
That, yeah. Anyway, here comes Jonathan Jennings through the front straightaway chicane, and the time posted by the 91 machine. It's not going to be terrible. It's going to be a 20.275. That's going to put him fifth quickest. So there's some speed in that 91 machine. Just took a minute to get it all in one. Andrew Carnot to 4th. Went to this pit box, and there's nobody else out on the track.
And Jennings actually beat Seth Berger by 2/1000ths of a second.
That is correct. And I don't want to say, but to no one's surprise, because for a moment there I thought maybe Adrian was going to be a little bit behind V8 ball, but the favorite does go ahead and secure the pole coming into this evening's race. Adrian Schumacher is on the Pratt, Tile, and Stone pole. Of course, Pratt, Tile, and Stone serving Central Vermont since 2005. On our way down to the front straightaway, and we get ready to look at our starting lineup this evening. And let's get down to it. It is Adrian Schumacher and Joshua Balliet making up row number 1. Row 2 will find Max Service, who has locked himself into the playoffs via points, and Vincent Cortez making another Outlaws Sim Series start in his rookie season. Row 3, it'll be the 91 of Jonathan Jennings, who, if he completes the pace lap and takes the green flag, should be locked in to the next round of the playoffs. And Seth Berger, who is locked in via points. Row 4, it's the 11 of Scott Bailey in a similar boat to Jennings, and Seth Fitzpatrick, who got the job done last time out at Milwaukee and got himself into the next round of the playoffs. And row number 5, it'll be the 90 of Andrew Cardinale the 4th, Landon Lacey in the 54.
Yeah, in row 6, we got the 71 of Jeremiah Stutzman. Alongside him, the 94 of Matthew Byers. Row number 7, the 95 of Devin Smith. Alongside him, the 93 of Kevin Powell. Row number 8, Joseph McMahon in the 20. Alongside him, the 67 of Doug Solms. Row number 9, Eric Peck in the 16. Haven't seen him most of the season. Alongside him, Jacob Reeves in the 22. And in row number 10, we got Randall Barnett in the 63. Alongside him, leaguer Adam Gardner in the 56.
The final row in the evening, Matt Rogers in the 96. Jason Cure in the 12 there. 21st and 22nd, respectively. And here we go. The field is rolling off the grid there on the front straightaway right before the entrance to the front straightaway chicane. And let's go ahead and take a look at the weather this evening. At track temp 100 degrees. It's going to be slick out there, but could be very difficult. Well, it will be very difficult conditions. You have the winds gusting at about 14 miles an hour out of the west. It is partly cloudy, though. And with an air temp of 84 degrees, Ed, difficult conditions for an already difficult track.
Yeah, a slick track for a track that really doesn't pick up much grip until after a couple of laps, and especially for these drivers coming off of, their cycle with the qualifying laps, and now it's going to be even more interesting because they're going to go up to speed and possibly hope their brake bias is going to be good enough to make it into turn 1. So it's going to be interesting to see on the start.
And that's another thing. I imagine it's going to be implemented because it was in Season 1, but these drivers will be going through the restart zone like you would on the oval, and you will see these drivers cut through that front straightaway chicane. They will be entering turn 1 at a higher rate of speed than they ever will outside of other restarts, Ed. So that's also going to be something, is how treacherous, how tricky turn 1 can be. Oh, by the way, Ed, this race had 4 full course cautions in Season 1.
And if I think I remember correctly off the top of my head, I think it's like another 20, maybe 30 miles an hour difference going into turn 1. Yeah, it's bigger than what most people think. So these guys are going to have to brake a little bit more sooner than you would expect. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens going into turn 1. I'm looking forward to it. And to be honest, Emerson, I'm looking for a lot of these drivers right now to be full max saving fuel possibly. I don't know exactly the numbers for fuel saving, but I think we're probably going to at least see one stop possibly to make it to the end.
That's a very good point you make there, Ed. It's going to be close on the fuel number, I think, to make it on a one stop. They do have that extra gallon than they had in previous years, so that's another thing to keep in mind. But we'll have to see, and we may get the chance to interview some drivers throughout the race if it does get spread out enough to where we need to find something to do. We'll talk to some of these drivers. But also, before we get going this evening, Ed, we have to say stages tonight, which means the top 10 will be awarded stage points at the completion of lap 12 and 27. And if I'm seeing this correctly, Landon Lacey has not taken the grid here, Ed. Either he's starting from pit lane or he's not running tonight. But either way, what is happening is the iRacing.com safety vehicle is finding its safety down in the pit lane, the field, in the hands of Adrian Schumacher. They will be taking through the full quad oval on this end of the speedway and waiting for the green flag. And we're racing from Charlotte. And Max Service is gonna go round. And he is stopped there in the middle of turn 1 and looks like he's gonna get away scot-free.
Yeah, we had a couple of contact. I saw the 90 of Andrew Cardinale, the 4th, locked up the brakes going into 1 and made contact with the 11 of Scott Bailey. So we already see some drama on this first lap going into turns 1. Making it through 5 and 6 and we're going into 7 a little bit better now, but looks like we had some drama already starting.
So the field working their way onto the oval now, and looking there at Jonathan Jennings. They're in the 6th position. Cardinale's gone to 5th. We saw Balliet and Schumacher switch spots on the initial start, and then looks like Schumacher has already gotten back to the lead. Vincent Cortez is there in 3rd. Berger in 4th. Andrew Cardinale to 4th and 5th. That is 5 Swift cars right there, 1st through 5th. I know Max Service had his issue on the opening corner, but Adrian Schumacher coming through the front straightaway chicane will complete and lead lap number 1.
Yeah, I was going to credit Vincent Cortez. He had a great start on that restart right there. He was all over the back of Joshua Balliet on that restart. I was actually surprised how close he was to Joshua Balliet. I was scared that he were going to make contact going into turn 1, but they both made it through pretty cleanly. And Vincent Cortez off to a great start. And, oh, he looks like he goes a little bit wide there in the middle of 3 and 4 and kept it going straight. But how about the start for our leader, Emerson, Adrian Schumacher? I mean, are we really surprised at all that he got off to this big of a start already? I mean, Daytona, what he jumped off to like a 6-second lead in the first 2 laps or something like that?
No, but I think this is going to be a little bit more tightly contested. I think Balliet is going to put up more of a fight tonight than he did at the Daytona road course. We'll have to see. Right now, it's staying stagnant at 1.5 seconds. Oh, and Adrian has blinked there, so that could also be something to watch out there. Ed is Adrian Schumacher and staying connected to the server. But can't confirm Landon Lacey did not take the green flag this evening, Ed. And barring a Doug Solms win, that is the only thing that would change these clinching scenarios. Regardless of bonus points or stage points, Jeremiah Stutzman is locked in. Jonathan Jennings is locked in. Jacob Reeves is locked in. And Scott, yes, Jeremiah Stutzman, Jonathan Jennings, Scott Bailey is locked in, and Jacob Reeves is locked in. Devin Smith must finish 20th or better to clinch tonight. So he is running 10th right now, and there's a 1 driver 1 lap down. So Smith is looking good, but he is not locked in yet. If he scores 1 stage point, he should lock in.
We got Adam Gardner around in turns 2, in the middle of turns 1 and 2. He just got around and goal. But I was gonna also he got around again, Adam Gardner. Now he's on the pit exit, spun around. But I was going to mention Scott Bailey is definitely going to be happy to hear that he clinched because he's on pit road now, I believe, fixing damages from another incident, and he's gone a lap down. So definitely big for him to be able to clinch into that next round, Emerson.
Absolutely. Also, Adam Gardner and Matt Rogers, if they finish 13th or better, they clinch themselves into the next round of playoffs. So we'll be looking for them to see if they can finish 13th or better. Now, if they score stage points, that fluctuates a couple positions. And this is also dependent on how well Andrew St. Cyr does in this evening's race. This is, of course, on the preface that Andrew St. Cyr, sorry, not Andrew, Doug Solms does get second and all max points pretty much. So if anybody in the top 12 coming into today's race wins, or non-playoff driver wins, these are the clinching scenarios that these drivers are working with this evening. So pretty much if Devin Smith finishes 20th or better, Adam Gardner, Matt Rogers finishes 13th or better, they should clinch. And Andrew St. Cyr will need mathematical help to clinch, but he should be very much on his way to being able to do so.
And I'm looking through the field around here. I see Jonathan Jennings battling Seth Fitzpatrick going into the backstretch chicane. Oh, and Seth Fitzpatrick's having a really big lockup. Actually, he's going to miss it. He's going to come to a full stop.
So I want to talk about what you were looking at here, Ed. I'm going to try to find it. I want to figure out what happened to the 11 of Scott Bailey.
I know he had that incident with Andrew Cardinale, the 4th on lap 1. I don't know if anything else might have happened. We got a couple of people on
Okay,
pit
so
road
here we
too.
go.
Seth Fitzpatrick into pit road.
Oh, and we're gonna catch a little late right there. Seth
Oh
Fitzpatrick
my
got
gosh.
into it right there.
What? I was wondering because I saw Seth Fitzpatrick with damage on the nose. And I didn't know if that was from contact, possibly on the opening lap, but that just answered my question.
Try to find it up here. We got it lined up. So here it is, and these are the teammates racing. Here's the replay, of course. Scott Bailey, one of the drivers who, again, locked in just by starting this evening, and Seth Fitzpatrick, who locked in with his win last week. This is them coming through the front road chicane, and something amiss happens here to Scott Bailey, coming through turn 2. A little too much throttle, and nowhere for Seth Fitzpatrick to go.
And that's the thing with these cars, just the slightest little overcorrection with the throttle, and that thing's gonna snap loose on you. I've had that happen a couple of times.
Something must have then happened to Matthew Byers.
Yeah, I saw him come to pit road right behind Seth Fitzpatrick as well, but I didn't see much damage to him.
So here
now I do. Oh, he has a tire issue.
This is already
the toe leg is
after,
broken.
What happened? Looks like I'm about to find out what happened here. 494, Matt Byers.
Taking a guess that he meets with a wall, possibly.
Imagine he misses the braking point down here or something. Not really many more places. Oh my.
Oh, too hot. Just went a little too hot.
Yeah, that'll leave a mark.
Yeah. Looked like he got a little too high, and also looked like a car did not want to brake.
Looks like he missed the braking point more than anything.
Yeah, definitely. That's gonna be a lengthy repair for that 94 car. Well, we already have 3 people, excuse me, that are already laps down. We have Seth Fitzpatrick and Matthew Byers, who's definitely gonna go laps down.
All the people we just saw, they have not returned to the track since they.
Basically. But Adam Gardner had an eventful.
So yeah, we're looking at his spin.
Laps.
That actually happens in turn 1. He went back a little too far. Nearly catches the wall there in 7.
Sheesh. And I talked about it in the pre-race, Sam. I mean, you gotta be careful and just have a clean race. I know it's hard, especially with this track. It's just, you just gotta try to manage your stuff here. And I'm seeing a lot of drivers having a lot of issues so far on this track.
There's Matthew Byers. I guess he could have just continued on with his replay. Did not realize that was going to be the case. But Adam Gardner was being tailed here by Randall Barnett and Max Service. Matt Rogers sends it up the inside down front straightaway chicane. Probably catches Adam Gardner a little off guard. Turn 1 on a much shallower line than he's used to. And he just a little low there, going over some of the bumps you don't normally go cut through. Not too bad for Adam. He's able to continue on.
Oh, not only that, he spun it again. Just a little short seconds after that, but
we're not going to sit and watch his entire.
we're not
going to do that to the man.
Nah.
So Adrian Schumacher now has a 5-second advantage over Joshua Balliet, and the end of stage 1 is approaching at the end of lap 12. Max Service is already his way back inside the top 10. For someone who doesn't have to be here, and is going to be leaving tomorrow, actually, to his out of town, basically. He I'm surprised he decided to stick through it, even with the first lap spin. So I guess he made the commitment. He started the race. He's gonna run it, machine, and we'll see where he ends up.
That's surprising coming from him, because usually he bails on us afterwards, go to bed early. Because you know how we usually all hang out, and usually he'll say he has to go to bed or something, but like that. But it's interesting to say the least that he's here.
Work, so
No, I know that. I'm just saying, you know how I mean. But anyway, like you said, it's good to see him here. I mean, adds a little bit more competitiveness to the field, you know.
I'm glad he did stick around. Yeah, and Matthew Byers has quit and called it a day. The other two drivers, Seth Fitzpatrick and Scott Bailey, they're still here. I wonder if Scott Bailey has the news that he is locked in to the next round of playoffs. But if he doesn't, he's probably going to be in the mindset that he has to finish this race out to secure his next his spot into the next round of playoffs. Got a battle brewing here. Seth Berger and Andrew Cardinale the fourth.
And Andrew's been pretty patient with it. He got passed earlier by Jonathan Jennings, and oh my goodness, did you see how that 90 Ford was hopping through there? Oh my goodness, looked like a rabbit. Oh man, just I saw the right front of that car just jumping up and down, up and down. But Andrew Cardinale the fourth has been slowly but surely making his way through this field. I know he started 9th and he's all the way up to 6th. He got passed by Jonathan Jennings earlier and kind of been slowly but surely gaining on this 77 machine, but I think right now he's just riding, waiting for possibly. Oh, as we see Seth Berger makes a mistake.
Corner, Seth Berger.
Oh, I was just about to say, maybe he's waiting for Seth to make a mistake, and there it was.
So Andrew Cardinale the four puts himself back up inside the top 5. And his goal, I guess, next is to try to chase down Jonathan Jennings. There's a battle brewing between Stutzman and McMahon. For some stage points, Stutzman just 7/10ths up the road from Justin McMahon. That is an iRacing base scheme if I've ever seen one.
It's interesting to say the least. I mentioned it earlier. It looks like a Beats logo slapped on with the group. It's an interesting paint to say the least. It's an interesting. I want to say that's like a. What kind of red would you think that is? It kind of looks like a peachy red.
Anyway, Jeremiah Stutzman holding that 8th position. And they are nearing Kevin Powell. I don't know if that's going to be affected here before the end of the stage, but this certainly is on the table here. This battle for the 8th position before the end of lap 12 is going to get spicy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Vincent Cortez had an issue in the back straightaway chicane. I'm not entirely sure. It looked slow. I just looked at him for a second, and it looked obviously really slow, and Jennings closed up a lot of ground on him. But going back to this 20 and 71.
2 seconds slower, so it wasn't that big of an issue. But he did lose 2 seconds.
I was confused. I don't know why. It looked like Jennings looked close to him, but this battle is starting to brew up a little bit, and I don't think the 71's on the proper position for this, and I think the 20 might be able to get him here.
Think he was just letting him by.
Honestly, that's smart. But I honestly
Stutzman prides himself on is being smart, thinking it's a long race.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was gonna go back to that Seth Berger and Andrew Cardinale battle. I don't know how much you feel about this, Emerson, but I think being the guy behind somebody in a battle, I think it's the most interrogating thing ever. Like, I feel like it's the most stressful thing possible when you see a guy close up as fast as he does behind you.
You mean intimidating?
And yeah, thank you. I don't know why I said instigating, basically, but you know, it just makes you force into a mistake, and we saw that with Seth Berger. But
ooh, Andrew was flirting with the safer barrier there off of NASCAR too.
You basically get what I'm saying, though. It's like it's interesting.
Yeah, you are empowering yourself when you are that trail car in a battle. You don't have the pressure of you know, trying to fend off a driver that at the moment you feel is faster than you. If you're catching somebody, if you're the trail car in a battle, more than likely you are faster than the car ahead anyway. You have the speed to get around them. You're just trying to make it efficient and effective, and again, you have the upper hand. More than likely as a trail car in a battle. That on track here between 2 playoff drivers, Devin Smith and Matt Rogers. This is outside the stage points, but Jacob Reeves is actually clued in this as well. We got a 3-car battle here. They come to wrap up lap. They're coming to wrap up lap 11. Adrian is coming around to wrap up lap 12.
Ooh, and I thought Devin was going to get closer and closer to that 22 and almost hit him, but made away with no contact there. I think he's just looking to maybe show his nose possibly on this 22. But how about the new color for the 22? Not bad. And a little bit more different than what we're used to seeing.
What we should be used to seeing, though, is driver of the number 82, Adrian Schumacher. Bring it off the front straightaway chicane and winning stage 1 here at the Charlotte Roval. Valiette. Alan Kill comes across the line there in second. Here comes Vincent Cortez. Non-playoff driver, in second and third. Jonathan Jennings gets himself points. Finishes fourth. Andrew Carnoy to fourth. Another non-playoff driver in fifth. Seth Berger, who's locked into the next round there, crosses sixth. Kevin Powell gonna bring a train with him. Powell there, then man. Hero Dozer playoff driver. Stutzman is in, and Max Service. A hard-fought opening stage comes across the line there in 10.
And all those drivers will receive some sort of stage points, but Adrian Schumacher gets the more important stage win. Adrian Schumacher gets the more important stage win. Ooh, a little contact between the 96 and 95 it looked like there, but now the 95 is going to peek in the inside of the 22. It looks like the 22 is going to be able to hold that spot. And we're about to have a little four-way battle. Yeah.
This is some great stuff going on back here for the 12th position. I want to take a look at this from up above. This good. Thank you.
Yeah, it looks like the 95 has really good exit speed, and the 22 just has better exit.
That's the same thing. Exit speed is exit.
I thought I said entry. Jesus, my words are terrible right now.
Oh, Matt Rogers was on a crash course for that outside wall. You keep it off. But I can see that. Devin Smith is a little bit better under braking and corner entry. Corner exit definitely looks to be in the favor of the 22. A bit of a lock there for Reeves, but again.
Yeah, I was to say the 22 looks like it was more the defensive line going to that back straightaway chicane. Looked like he was trying to hold off that bottom a little bit more than the normal line. Let's see what he does here going to the front straightaway chicane. See, like he peeks it over to the right just a little bit more defensive it looks like.
And this is something else. He's going really defensive for this position, and Devin Smith is not close enough to make a move. He is just altering his line, either in anticipation of a dive bomb or a move made by Devin, or I don't know, but it's not efficient what Jacob Reeves is doing right now. This is inefficient defensive maneuvers on a road course.
Plus, Devin's got to think about it a little bit more smart, too. If any little mistake or bobble up that he makes, that 96 is going to take advantage of it right behind him.
And Jacob Reeves now missing turn 6. A little too much speed to the center corner. Devin Smith trying. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Rogers hit the wall bad behind him. He pounded the wall with the right side on the inner part right there. And I think he's got something wrong. He hit that wall a ton in 7 and 8. He tried to get back to the gas a little bit more sooner than that 95 and just misjudged it just by the tiniest bit and slammed that wall. And he just let Andrew St. Cora go by.
Looks like it's okay. Oh, there's definitely damage there. He's not shifting.
Yeah, I'm being told. And he just came over the radio and said he broke something. Oh, Devin Smith! Oh, Devin Smith is gonna. Oh man, he saved it! Holy cow! He hit the tunnel. It looked like he was gonna go straight through the chicane, and he saved it somehow. Oh my goodness!
Despite what it sounded like, rest assured, I don't believe Ed drowned there for a second.
I'm drowning?
You did when Devin was making his mistake.
Damn.
I'm joking.
Oh, I know that. I'm not that good of a swimmer. It was like a turn. It was in turn 7 and 8. Matt Rogers was trying so hard.
So this is coming to turn 4. Up to very technical section here, 5, 6, and 7. So here's 6, where we saw Jacob Reeves just missed a corner. We're gonna catch a lot there. You can see just where his car pops up there. He just kind of angled it into the wall.
It was just interesting to see him push as hard as he did through that too, because he was in good close position between the two. I just don't know if he needed to push a little bit more. Honestly, I think he could have waited it out.
You know what? Because Devin Smith was pushing through there, but Devin Smith was able to keep it calculated. I think Rogers felt he had to also keep the pace up. Right out bad. Gonna see it right here. Bam.
Oh yeah, that's a good hit too.
Yep, that'll do it.
It's unfortunate. He's having a good run.
Matt Rogers, he is somebody who, if Andrew St. Cyr, Doug Solms has a really good race today. Matt Rogers could be one of those drivers on the way out.
And Doug Solms currently is in 15th, 1 lap down. He is the first car a lap down.
But again, we've had full course cautions happen in this with this track in this series before. So I would never rule out even drivers who are 1 lap down out of this race, because we've had bad full course cautions. Matt Rogers in early trouble this evening. Battle here, McMahon and Powell.
And I was just looking at it, how Kevin Powell had a little bit of an issue coming off of 17, got loose on the front straightaway, and that kind of set up Justin McMahon to be able to get around him right through there in turns 2 and 3. And then just a little bit behind these guys. Jeremiah Stutzman just a little bit further back, but slowly but surely, he got passed by Max Service.
But yeah, Max
Service is
he's closing up on this. And Max
is making a good recovery.
Oh, Adrian Schumacher had a little bit of a blink there. We're keeping our eyes on the 82 machine on timing and scoring, but for a second there, he showed up as 14th. His last car.
Joshua Belliet hits the wall.
Oh no, and he's missed turn 1, and Randall Barnett is involved as well. And I'm afraid to think this might have been an incident with a lapped car. And there's some damage to that 7 machine, and he is done.
Yeah, he is absolutely done. Remember what I said? Remember what I said to Adrian in the pre-race, Emerson, about turn 1? Oh, it got our first victim.
And I'm gonna put a little asterisk on it because it looks like it was probably induced by a lapped car as well. See here. Oh. He just dove it to the inside of the 63. Just misjudged it. Dove it a little too deep, trying to pass the lapped car there.
I think it just looked like Joshua Belliet was just trying to get through as fast as he could. I think the 62 was letting him go by here, and I think he was just carrying a little bit more extra speed than he wanted to and just couldn't get it low down enough. Just nowhere for Randall Barnett to go either.
That's what it appears to look like. So that is he has since left the session. So that opens up this race pretty. If it wasn't already in the favor of Adrian Schumacher, which it was by 8 seconds, the gap he has over second is now doubled to 16 seconds.
Yeah, because our new second place guy now is Vincent Cortez, and honestly, Vincent Cortez is slowly but surely getting caught by Jonathan Jennings a little bit. It's only about 2 seconds between him and Jennings, but a pretty good run for the 23 of Vincent Cortez. I know we're not used to him doing that. Oh yeah, Seth Berger got around Andrew Cardinale the 4th.
90 machine, yeah. Seth Berger chased him back down and got around.
I don't see no damage to the 90, if anything. I don't.
No, I think so. I just chased him down.
Oh yeah, probably. I was just checking for damages and stuff. I didn't know if you saw anything that I didn't.
I can't say, but let's see if we'll find it.
Could have been too long ago.
We got it here.
Back straightaway chicane, maybe the front straightaway. Yeah, Stefan. Oh, look like Andrew just washed up the track. Maybe going for a wider entry. Oh no, he just gave it to
I
him.
think it's just letting him by.
Interesting.
Well, there you go. Maybe there's some communication there in the same Discord.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're both teammates, so maybe it might be a little bit of team game there. Maybe Andrew recognizes that Seth might be a little bit more faster in him and just figured to give him the spot instead of fighting for him hard. Like you said, we're seeing a little bit of fair play from some of these drivers, letting drivers go when they understand the other guy's faster. So,
And while Seth is locked into the next round of playoffs, maybe Andrew, that might have been a nod to, oh, you know, he's a playoff guy. He is catching. Just give him the space.
and speaking of playoff drivers, we got Max Service all over the back of Kevin Powell going off the exit of 4 right now. Looks like Max is trying to set up the pass to get around Kevin Powell for 7th.
Oh, he sent it! He'll get into the back of the 93! He'll ship him around in turn 5, and Stutzman gets back by.
Now I'm curious, because if you remember correctly,
run in at Nashville.
Yep, I was getting it at Milwaukee too. Remember at Milwaukee, the 93 got into the side of Max Service. So I'm curious if maybe that might have something to do with it, maybe a little bit. Maybe Max just said, I know how you race me, I'm going to race you the same way.
I feel like Max then is just disregarded the 93 because the 93 did just flat out drive into him at Milwaukee. But I'm sure that's what the 93 also feels what happened to him at Nashville.
I'm pretty sure we could call this even now.
I wouldn't say that. I believe the 93 would say it's 1-2. This could be something that lingers.
Yeah, and that's not something you want to do, honestly, and aggravate some non-playoff drivers, especially when you're fighting for a championship. I know it's round 1, but he might remember that when you desperately need to have a good finish. So we might have to remember that for a little while, Emerson. We might have to jot that down. I'm going to write that down on a sticky note. Hold on a second.
I'll just recall it like I did the other 2 incidents. But anyway, Max Service will continue on. Justin McMahon has now got himself to 6th place. McMahon is a good 15 seconds back of Andrew Cardinale of 4th. This is the battle on track that was already settled. Max getting through, getting past Stutzman.
Yeah, I'm like looking around the track. I don't, like you mentioned, Emerson, not many battles going on around here. I mean,
again, while Matt Rogers and Adam Gardner, now they don't need to finish 13th to make the next round of playoffs, but they would clinch their way into the next round of playoffs, regardless of where anyone else finishes with a 13th place finish. Doug Solms being in 14th, I don't think puts too much of a threat on Adam Gardner and Matt Rogers.
and I'm curious. Andrew St. Cora in 11th.
He's 20 points above the cut line. He looks to be fine.
Okay. Yeah.
He's ahead of Doug Solms, so if he's already ahead of him in points, then he's
ahead. And excuse me again. You said Devin Smith will have to finish 13th, correct or no?
20th
or higher.
It's already.
Oh, 20th. He's better. Okay. So it looks like everything.
You can see both of those when what I tagged you in.
Yeah, I'm looking through it now.
Andrew St. Cora riding in the 11th position, and he does look poised to make the next round of playoffs, despite not being able to show up to the Daytona Road Course. Albeit, Brad Bothwell and Derek McMurtry did not show up this entire round. James Gilliard ended up missing tonight.
And last week.
And last week, you're right. And
he got wrecked out early in that Daytona Road Course in the beginning laps.
I was thinking to Doug Solms then. I believe.
No, Doug Solms got involved with that with Gilliard, actually, if I remember correctly.
I remember that was Matt Rogers who got involved with Gilliard. I can't recall Doug Solms at Milwaukee though.
I think Doug was almost. I think it was a lot. I think it was a couple laps down. I just don't remember where exactly. I couldn't help you there.
So looking around here, I wanna grab a word. Well, no, can't grab a word with this driver. Or not accepting words right now. We're gonna bring on up driver of the 77. It's been about time that we've been able to talk to him in one of these races. Let's bring on up driver of the number 77, Seth Berger. Seth, had a little bit of a moment there where you had missed the bus stop battling Andrew. I guess you caught back up to Andrew and Andrew let you by. What kind of went on there?
Really just went right past the 5 marker and realized I didn't hit the brakes. It's just a dumb mistake, but I'm pretty happy with the pace right now.
Right on. Looks like again, Swift Racing is showing up and showing out with the great setup work that Adrian put in with this car. You're right now riding in the 4th position. Is there anything you have for Jennings or Vinny up ahead?
No, probably not. I gave up too much time at the start. I've really started to try to get more into a rhythm and backing it down, and I've gotten faster, but I've really broken even, maybe gained a second or so, but that's about it. I don't think I'm going to be able to gain 8 seconds right now, but I'm not a road course guy, so running 4th is pretty good for me.
And of course, this is a very physically demanding race. Being here at the Charlotte Roval, you are working the wheel, working the pedals every single bit. There's no time to rest, really. How are you feeling? How are you hanging in? And do you feel like you've got it going for number 35?
It's gonna be rough. I think I'll be fine though, but weirdly enough, the entire Daytona road course race, I didn't have any issues with my knee, and I started feeling my knee on lap 5 of this, so we'll see how it goes, but I think I'll be fine.
Right on. Well, Seth, it looks like you are doing just well, and was that Andrew letting you by when y'all traded spots there?
Yeah, once I caught him, he didn't see any point of battling.
All right. Well, we will watch you carry on and see how this all turns out. Nearing the end of stage 2 here, right in that 4th position. Already locked into the next round via points, so today is just a little bit of fun for you. Best luck to you. Hope you enjoy the rest of the race, and hopefully we're talking to you later on.
All right, thank you. Anyone watching, code word BergArts_77. That will get you an entry into the free jean jacket giveaway.
If you have to PM Seth, again, that code, BergArts_77. He has a giveaway going on. What is that, till next Friday?
Yep.
Yeah, and of course, you can check out all of the BergArts social media at Berg_Arts. You see all of it up on his beautiful baby blue car. Of course, and check it out. More info on BergArts stuff. All right, Seth, we'll let you get back to it, and
All right.
Driver road number 77, Seth Berger, and so that just kind of confirmed our suspicions there between him and Andrew battling it out. I think you know, it would have been fun to watch the battle, right? But I think what Seth said is you know, there's really no point in duking it out right there. Just let everybody continue on with their race and see what happens later on.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, Seth's doing a fabulous job. I know he says he's not big into road courses, but for somebody that's not big into road courses running top 5, that's got to be pretty good, I would say the least.
Not doing too shabby. So, looking out. Ooh, Max is getting a little closer to the wall. Max is trying to close this gap to Justin McMahon. I don't think he's going to get there before the end of the stage, but he is certainly trying.
Yeah, and I do want to bring up something real quick too, Emerson. You know, I'm watching these times and I'm watching mainly our leader, Adrian Schumacher's times, and I know how I mentioned pre-race that, you know, I'm expecting to see a little bit of some tire fall off maybe around like lap 20 to lap 30. We're about 27 coming to 28 laps in, and look at Adrian Schumacher's times. He ran a 19.6 in qualifying. Right now, his last lap time was a 19.9, so I'm not seeing that kind of big fall off that would draw me to maybe take tires. Unless you're handling, maybe you want to, but I honestly, I would expect these drivers to maybe just, like we saw at Daytona Road Course, just take fuel only on their one pit stop.
I completely forgot to even ask Seth about strategy. That would have been great to find out, but I think we're at the point now, Ed. Everybody's trying to make it to that lap 30 mark. I don't see anybody pitting unless they have damage at this point, until they make it to the halfway point, or they would have already tried some other strategies if they're that close on fuel. But what I do know is Adrian Schumacher is somewhere. Is that him?
He is in turns
he's already
3 and 4
won
now.
stage 1. Okay, so Vincent Cortez is coming around to finish second.
Stage 2,
in the
you mean?
Stage. Yep. Well, he did win stage 1 too, but yeah, stage 2. So I wasn't wrong. Just wasn't what I'm talking about. You're right. Cortez, Jennings, Seth Berger is coming soon. He's finishing 4th. Andrew.
Wait, Andrew Cardinale, the 4th, actually came to pit road.
Coming to pit road. Maybe a little bit of a short pit to strategize his way maybe in front of Seth.
Actually, does Andrew have damage in his right front? Yeah, he does have damage.
He has damage. He will finish 5th in the stage. Now McMahon comes across the line there in 6th. Stutzman 7th. Max is also on pit road.
Maybe my strategy is being pulled out into play here. I'm just curious. I saw Andrew did get tires, and I think now he's getting damage repairs too. Now, Max, I'm curious if this is actually scheduled or if this is maybe damage, but I don't see any damage on Max's car.
So
Yeah, it looks like just
it's
fuel
just
only
a
for
fuel only
Max.
Stop, Max. But I think the time he stopped in the box, he could have made a tire stop with that time, 13.7.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Trying to figure out what happened to our buddy old pal Andrew. We might even talk to him here. We'll find a replay. And here he is, number 90. He even says it there on the rear bumper, Andrew Cardinale to 5th. Dude. Oh no!
Look, it's just a lockup.
And he's in interview waiting. Buddy, what happened?
Yeah, I guess I was feeling the heartburn, guys.
Ah,
You need a Tums, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what was going on. I really don't know what I did wrong. I have to go back and look at it, but we're going to get it fixed up and go back out, see what the car is like, see where we're at on the scoring sheet, and if it just makes more sense to give up these points to the guys who need it, then we'll probably just park it. But of course, appreciate the Outlaws Sim Series and, well, you guys in the booth for doing what you're doing. Big shout out to simratmarket.com, Pitstop TV, Whiplash Media Simcams, and of course my beautiful girlfriend Kayla that is in the other room, I think, fixing dinner. This was it was a lot of fun, guys. I will say that. I had a lot of fun out there with Seth, with Jennings. Just, I don't know what happened. I really don't know what I did this time. At least at Laguna Seca, I made the mistake. I knew what happened. And sure, I made the mistake here, but I really don't know what happened.
I guess it's just one of those things, maybe just a little too far. Maybe the room was just broken for a slight bit. Yeah, it looked weird. They're just a little too deep into the braking zone, I guess is what it comes down to. But we did, of course, notice on your car, Andrew Cardinale the 5th is due in January 2023. How excited are you?
Very. Yeah, we had an ultrasound today. I got to see a bit more of what he looks like. Obviously, it's kind of a vague picture, but yeah, we're excited. Very, very excited. And yeah, it's just kind of the whole world is changing in that regard. But I'm glad that Kayla's able to put up with me doing a race every once in a while, and of course all the broadcasting I do here on the channel, and for others. And so, yeah, the world is changing, but just trying to have some fun while doing it.
Sure thing. Looks like Adrian is on pit road, so we're gonna leave you to it. But cool stuff happening for the boss man here, and unfortunate circumstances in the race. But of course, that's just the race.
Yeah, we're just testing out those toe links and putting the rookie in rookie stripe.
Putting the rookie in rookie shack. There you go. All right, Andrew, we'll leave you to it.
All right, thanks, guys.
Andrew Carlisle, the fourth there in the 90 car, and Adrian Schumacher here on the pit lane down and away. It looks like it was full service for the 82 machine.
The reason I said don't play that, I saw Vinny locking it up in 3 and 4. I thought he was going straight into the middle of that safer barrier in the middle of 3 and 4. He is having some interesting times with his left front tire right now. I've seen a lot of smoke in the last couple of laps and that brakes, and Jennings is there. He's waiting for this 23 to make a mistake. But all in that, I would expect to see Adrian Schumacher to get by these two. He's just a little bit behind Jonathan Jennings right now, so shouldn't be long before he catches these two again.
We should have more cars hitting the pit lane. Justin McMahon is in now. Second, I guess third driver to hit the pit lane. Now Doug Solms. Then Doug Solms is a lap down, but here he comes. You know, Vincent Cortez coming around. He want to make sure he'll get his lap led. Vincent Cortez, not playoff driver, just here for some fun. He'll get lap led and he'll continue on. McMahon got his service done in 15 seconds. Doug Solms is in the box right now. Down and away, 13-8.
Yeah, it's been a nice clean day for this 67 machine. I know
Yes, it
not
is.
like top 10, but pretty clean.
And again, Doug is in a little bit of a pickle. He does need some help to make the next round of play. Oh no, Andrew! Oh no, and the bad day has gotten worse for the 90 machine.
I think he's good though. We kept it straight, no damage. We're good.
Oh, just a little bit of an embarrassing moment. We'll broadcast it for Boss Man. He is down and away off the pit box. Don't speed. Make that hard left-hand turn. Throttle up, and too much throttle. Just a little tap. He'll be able to continue on.
Yeah, just kiss the nose.
Oh, goodness.
Gotta be careful with that car, man. I'm hoping to get into that car soon.
I don't know about that one specifically, because that one has seen the wall or two.
Yeah.
Andrew Carnide, of course. Great stuff, though. Again, appreciate his time, and I know it's hard for a lot of drivers to just come in after they make a mistake and talk about it, but he's very much able to. He laughs it off. This is just for fun for him. And of course, he's got big things coming for him in his personal life, and a good positive spin on things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fantastic to see Andrew doing these races. I mean, I know he doesn't have all the spare time in the world, but anytime we get to see him out here on the racetrack, it's always a pleasure to watch him do his thing and have some fun with it.
Andrew St. Coeur found his way down the pit lane.
Another fuel only stop, it looks like, and he's on our way. And then we see Randall Barnett.
Eric
pit road
Peck
as well.
has called it a day. Barnett is getting some damage repairs. Adam Gardner is in for, looks like, typical service. The car looks clean, which is very important. Adam just making the laps. Oh no, but hopefully he didn't speed.
Oh, but here comes our leader, Vincent Cortez, to pit road, and I believe Jennings is going to be following suit.
Cortez is in.
Yep, and here comes
And
Jennings as
Jennings.
well. So if I'm not mistaken, this should be fuel only for both these two leaders, and we
Schumacher
should
is gonna
cycle out
retake the
to where
lead.
Schumacher. Yep.
Already taken it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot he's that close. Yeah. Oh, and
Oh,
Seth Berger's
man.
on pit road as well.
I mean, this is the
Uh,
end of the field tanks for these guys.
So I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the only two that haven't pit yet are Jeremiah Stutzman and Kevin Powell. Correct?
Devin Smith and Jacob Reeves as well.
Gotcha. And there goes Vinny. He's out and away. There goes Jennings.
Jennings at a 13-2.
Oh, that was close with the tires.
13-2.
Those tires, man, that might be the sharpest turn on a pit exit.
It's a tough one, man.
Oh, boy.
Kevin Powell's now heading down the pit lane.
Just think, man, you're gonna be seeing this track in a couple of days.
Yeah, that's the wild thing. The other time I've had a track that, you know, the same week that I've gone to see it was Coda. The first time, well, the only time I've been to Coda. The first NASCAR race there. I had a league race there the night before I left, and same thing's happening here. I have a broadcast here, and well, I'm getting on a plane in about 10 hours to go to Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm excited for you, man. I mean, Charlotte is just one heck of a racetrack to go spectate, especially with the Coke 600. I mean, that's the track I have on my bucket list. I want to go see. That's a race entirely I want to go see is the Coke 600. I mean, and especially the Roval, man. I mean, this being one of the playoff circuits, it's going to be hectic, especially with the scenarios that some drivers have. Like, you know, Chase Briscoe and Austin Cindric are tied for the points cutoff line. That's going to be hectic to watch all day long. You see Devin Smith on pit road, but I'm excited for you, man. You're going to have a blast, I feel like, in Charlotte.
Absolutely. Wanted you to come, but this thing's going to work out this time around. Hopefully we can make something happen in the future.
Next year, I promise you. I'll promise you on that next year.
We shall see where we even pick next year. That'll be
maybe Dover. Maybe we meet at Dover. Like, I usually go to Dover every year.
That'd be easy. Maybe. Down in Nuevo was Devin Smith at a 15.4. Stutzman. There's Stutzman at a 15.7. Jacob Reeves is the last one to pits.
Man, I'm looking at some of these drivers right now. Vinny had not a great outlap, but I mean, Jennings didn't have a good one either, but it's just, you know, Jennings and Cortez were close. Yeah, he gained about another, I want to say some second and some change, because it was about down to 2 seconds, maybe even less than that, but still though, as we see Jacob Reeves coming down to pit road, he's going to take his full service.
So
that's your cycle, I believe.
That's everyone.
I believe, yeah, I should believe that's your cycle, everybody. And I think Adrian St. Clair is going to be in 10th place, and he's actually battling Devin Smith right now going into the front stretch of Kane for another position as well.
Here we go. Let's take a look at this. This is tough. Seeing battles going into turn one. Devin Smith's in trouble.
Now, he had to gather it up a little bit. Now Andrew St. Clair has got to be patient and wait for possibly another mistake, even maybe force the issue a little bit here.
Hang in there, Devin. Oh, baby. He hit that sausage curb there, Ed. And that throw the bounds of the car all off. And something to miss with Jeremiah Stutzman. He's coming back down the pit lane.
And I'm seeing a little bit of damage crinkle to the front end of this
that car does
Mustang.
not look healthy. Can't see where any damage is put. Alright, looks fine there.
Yeah, I'm going back through. I don't really see much.
Over to maybe a pit exit violation or a speeding violation.
Yeah, I don't see nothing to miss. Oh, he's rolling back out off a pit exit right now, so.
And he was stopped in the box at 40 seconds, so I'm guessing that was a violation for the 71 machine. For someone who's already locked in, that doesn't mean too much, but I'm sure he did not want that to happen.
No, and he came right back out in the battle between Andrew and Devin. Yeah, he came right out at a good time. And Max is just behind them, just letting her have it. So this way, Adrian looks like he's going to lap every single person in this field.
I don't know about Vinny and Jennings.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. He's gonna get Max. Seth, might get. I don't know. It's gonna be close.
We got this 3-car battle going on, and this is now for the 8th position. We do have to get to a break at side by side at some time, but this battle is going on. We do want to keep our eyes on it, at least put it sign that it's still active. I think we're starting to get some spacing out here. I think we're going to go ahead and take that moment now. We're going to keep our eyes, of course, on this battle on the side-by-side, but don't you go anywhere. Oh, no! Devin Smith has gone around right in front of Jeremiah Stutzman.
Oh, boy. Oh, and it looked like he just overcorrected a little too much. Ooh, I think Jeremiah, he barely got a little tap.
Got a little bit of a hit there, too. Here we go. Devin Smith.
It looked awkward on his entry here. Like, that was an awkward entry, it looked like. And I think
hit a bad bump, and
yeah,
everybody was able to make their way through. Devin didn't pick up that much damage. Like they continue on.
I didn't want to say nothing, Emerson, but Andrew's back on pit road again. And I don't see nothing to miss, but I think
this might be the fuel stop.
a long stop. He's been there for a minute.
So this might be not sure what. This might just be what Andrew calling it a day here. Adam Gardner's also on the pit road here.
Yeah, Adam's got some damage.
So here's Adam. Bam.
Oh, hit. Looks like a Matt Rogers incident.
And doesn't make it any
Oh, no,
better
again.
there. Oh, no. Massive.
Yeah, that's going to be a lengthy fix.
And Andrew Cardinale IV has called it there. We're going to see here, Andrew, if he comes in.
Yeah, I think he's just calling it a day. I mean,
Andrew brings it in. He retires for the race.
Yeah, he wasn't really fighting for many spots either, I'm pretty sure. I think he being 4 laps down. I think he was only 4 laps down, so he would have had a little bit of help to gain some spots. So understandable, though. Still a decent day. I hope he had some fun.
Oh, yeah. Fun track. A lot. I mean, this is a track, you know, he lives by it now. He quite enjoys this place.
Yeah, there is. I said, ooh, there. I saw Josh McMahon in a picture a little bit back there. Had a moment, looked like off of 4, but he kept it going straight.
All right, so we really do have to.
Oh, I say that. He hit the wall. There he goes. Never mind. Keep going.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I'm gonna give you another 5 seconds or so. Okay, so we're gonna head to a side-by-side. Don't you go anywhere. Adrian Schumacher has a 29-second advantage on front of the field. 20 laps to go. Be right back.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy. Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway Road Course. We're here for the third race of the Outlaws Sim Series playoffs. It's Elimination Wednesday for the Outlaws Sim Series. At the end of tonight's 60-lap event, we're going to know 4 drivers who will no longer be competing for the championship this season. What we do know for sure, Adrian Schumacher, of course, with the Daytona Road Course win. Seth Fitzpatrick with the Milwaukee win. Max Cyrus, Seth Berger on points coming into today's race. They will be continuing on to the next round. We can also safely say Jeremiah Stutzman, Jonathan Jennings, Scott Bailey, Jacob Reeves, and now Devin Smith will be competing in the next round of playoffs. We're still mathematically unsure that Gardner, Rogers, and St. Cyr will advance, and also mathematically unsure if Soames will not advance, but it is looking like very much in the favor of at least Gardner and St. Cyr, and now Rogers. Actually, Gardner has just fallen out of that clinch position, but Rogers is now in that clinch position. That is something else, but Doug Soames is not having a banner day to make the next round, and is still looking very much in the favor of St. Cyr, Gardner, and Rogers. Those are the only 3 drivers we are awaiting mathematical confirmation for, and we more than likely would have a clear picture of that post race. But of course, Elimination Wednesday here for the Outlaws Sim Series. We have officially eliminated Brad Bothwell and Derek McMurtry from championship competition. Also James Gilliard. Not missing too much out on the track is Adrian Schumacher leading Vincent Cortez, 31 seconds out. Jonathan Jennings is third over Seth Berger, fourth. Max Service rounds out the top 5, and those are the only 5 on the lead lap. It's McMahon, Powell, Stutzman, St. Cyr, and Devin Smith. The rest of the top 10 still running: Reeves, Soames, Rogers, and Bailey. Adam Gardner still connected in the session, but he's on the pit lane, and also Randall Barnett. But Andrew Cardinale, the 4th, Eric Peck, Randall Barnett, Joshua Balliet, Seth Fitzpatrick, Matthew Byers have all called it a day, and Landon Lacey did not take the green flag after qualifying 10th. So Ed, we've had a very clean race so far, and we've had, the tale of 2 races here at the Charlotte Roval in the Outlaw Sim Series. The first one having 4 full course cautions, and the second race not having any, being absolutely obliterated, the field absolutely being obliterated by Landon Lacey last season. Now we're kind of getting a little bit more of what we saw last season this time around with Adrian, but a very, very much clean race. Had a couple crazy battles for the most part, but they have since kind of separated themselves, and we're now into the final 15 laps of competition this evening.
Yeah, one battle that's starting to heat up a little bit is that battle for second. Jennings has been slowly but surely reeling in Vincent Cortez. Vincent Cortez has been having a couple of errors around the track between turn 1 and also off the inner part of 8 and 7, or 7 and 8, excuse me, going back onto 1 and 2 NASCAR Oval. But Jennings has been running some faster lap times than Vincent Cortez, but I think Vincent might give him a little bit of a run for his money, even though Jennings might not be in a big hurry for this spot, but I think he's going to get it somehow, somewhere.
For what it's worth, Cortez is not a playoff driver. Jennings is, but he's locked into the next round, so this position isn't pivotal for either driver. It'll just be for fun to see who can outdo one or the other here over the course of the rest of this race.
Yeah, it looks like these two are pretty evenly matched. I would say this honestly, but I think it's going to take another mistake from Vincent Cortez to possibly allow this 91 to be able to get side by side with him. I think that's Vincent's strong part, is just that inner part right there. He comes off that corner so well.
I would agree until right there he slid the tires a little bit more on the exit, and that gave the advantage slightly to Jennings. But maybe Jennings, his eyes grew large with that slight mistake from Cortez, and I think Jennings then might have pushed through turn 8, giving the advantage back to Cortez. It is a chess game happening right now at about an average speed of 130 miles an hour.
Yeah, remember the last time we saw a battle like this between Andrew Carnelli IV and Seth Berger. Seth misjudged that back straightaway entry and missed the corner and had to have a stop and go, to where Andrew Carnelli IV was able to get that spot. Maybe it might be in the same shoes here where Vincent Cortez might make a mistake. Ooh, we see Kevin Powell look like he had an issue.
Yeah, Kevin Powell had an issue off the final corner. He actually had to put it in the reverse to re-gather the car. So let's see what happened to the 93 machine.
He was in 7th place, 1 lap down. I don't think it's changed.
93, Kevin Powell, a little deep.
Yeah, a little too deep.
Corner. And then
Oh, just swings back on the gas a little too hard.
I think he's just trying to get the car to rotate, and then, well, technically he does have to serve a stop and go.
I think he kind of did.
So he did, yeah.
I think it counts. That kind of counts.
He didn't extend his stop and go. He did it facing traffic. Oh man. Unfortunately.
Interesting way to stop and go. Yeah.
Yep. Kevin Powell continues on with his day. You're right. He stays 7th. He's got 39 seconds over Jeremiah Stutzman.
You gotta think too, this might be a little bit of a little annoying factor where we're gonna see these drivers be struggling with their tires, because remember, a lot of these guys just took fuel only stops. The tires are gonna be lit up probably a little bit after some heavy braking, maybe even some lockups. So it's gonna be interesting.
This is again one of the most technical circuits on the track. There's a lot of slow corners, Ed, where you have to put the power down and worry about your rear traction, and that being a 60-lap race, this is 5 laps longer than half distance of the NASCAR Cup Series race. 5 laps longer than NIS. We're getting into some uncharted territory for drivers who do not take tires. 60 laps on a set of tires, no matter any track, is a long time. Then add the fact we have a road course with a lot of heavy braking zones.
Yeah, they might be getting a little bit of physical fatigue here too. You know, these guys have been going at it now for a little over an hour and 10 minutes or so, and being a little bit longer than, like you said, that little normal NASCAR fixed schedule where it's 55 laps. You know, you might get a little bit of foot cramping here between how much gas and brake you have to use around this track. So these drivers might be starting to feel a little bit of physical fatigue, and I don't know, maybe it's just where these guys are just physically prepared for this and we're ready. But Vincent Cortez looks like he's not slowing down as much as he's starting to pull his gap a little bit more on Jonathan Jennings. It's about 0.8 of a second now. So hopefully we'll see Vincent Cortez stay in 2nd place for a little while, but I think Jennings wants to show otherwise.
We'll keep our tabs on this battle. But Ed, I think there's somebody I'd like for you to talk to. This is a driver who's had a wild bit of a day. Started turn 1, lap 1, going from his starting position to last. Max Service is headed your way. Yeah, Max, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, Max, how you doing, man? I know you didn't have the lap 1 experience you were hoping, so what happened there, man?
I felt like we'd have a little bit more grip on the tires. I broke really early, and then the cars, didn't turn. I felt like I warmed them up enough on the pace lap, but obviously not. And they just didn't grip, so to avoid piling into Vinny there into the turn one wall, I just slammed it down into first gear and just kind of full throttled it and looped it around just to not kill anybody and just hope nobody piled into me.
Well, I have to say, you did a fabulous job recovering from that. I mean, you're all the way up into the top 5 with your teammates running first, second, and fourth. And, you know, I know it's not the day you kind of were hoping for. I think you had a little bit more speed in this 81 machine. But tell us about how your day's been going so far, besides that lap 1 incident.
Yeah, it's been interesting to say the least. You know, I do this every season at the Charlotte Roval. You know, season 1 I forgot to grid and started from the back. Got into an incident on lap 1. Drove my way to I think 3rd in that race. Season 2 on lap 2 while running 2nd, I spun into the backstretch chicane. Rebounded there and finished 3rd in that race. So I'm just fond of getting into incidents when the car's fast here at the Charlotte Roval. And then coming through the field, I got into Kevin Powell. I feel bad for that. It always seems like it's Kevin Powell. I don't mean to hit him, but it just so happens to work out that it's always him for whatever reason. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah, I think after that one, man, you might want to send him a flower basket or two, possibly. But, Max, we're going to let you finish off these last 10 laps or so as your teammate Adrian Schumacher's out front of the lead. But hopefully you can keep on to this top 5 and hopefully keep it on track a little bit longer for us. So hopefully we'll talk to you later, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you. This ball right here is calling my name. I'm going to hit
why?
that. I'm going to hit it a couple more times.
That was a little close.
Oh, don't worry, I've hit it a couple times. I felt like I knocked the toe link out of her like 2 or 3 times. I've gotten so lucky with it.
Oh, boy. Oh, man.
Driver of the number 81 Max Service. And,
Oh, well, he almost...
oh, he's eating some sausage crabs.
It looked bad there for a second. I saw the lockup, and I'm like, oh, no, he's going to go with the wall. Oh, man. He's calling his shots. That's not a good thing. When he's calling his shots, he's going to hit that wall bad. Oh, man.
I just hope he doesn't bring that to Charlotte. Hope he's not breaking toe links in person.
I don't know how you possibly would do that.
I don't want to know.
Unless he wears sandals and stubs his toe into the wall. I don't know how that can happen. That'd be interesting to say the least. That would be an interesting conversation.
Oh, man. The driver from Nova Scotia, he was one of those people affected by some of the tropical storms last week. There was a tropical storm that hit pretty much head on Nova Scotia, and Max's town was impacted. Max was without power for 10 days. His town had a lot of trees falling over. Luckily so, his family and himself, they were all okay. Of course, himself and Andrew St. Cyr in the field, that, you know, live in the same house. Love them having to go through the same thing. So good to see Max and Andrew both here, alive and well, running this race out, albeit a week after than it's original scheduled, partly because of what they had to go through. And it's good to see them, at least for the moment, running both inside the top 10.
Yeah, having a good day. Not a bad day for either one of them. And Andrew St. Cyr, I know he's not happy about being 2 laps down, but I mean, still a great day no matter what. He could get up to 8th possibly with Jeremiah Stutzman, but it'll be kind of a hill to climb. I mean, Jeremiah's going through the front stretch chicane right now, and Andrew's just going down the back straightaway chicane. So it'll be a little hill for him to climb, but other than that, still a pretty solid day for both of them, and I think Andrew will be pretty happy knowing that he's going to be moving on, hopefully, to the second round of the playoffs, and hopefully fight for a championship as we see Vincent Cortez getting through the back straightaway chicane, and still hanging on to second for Jonathan Jennings, and it just doesn't look like this gap is either closed or gained at any point.
I think these guys now, Ed, are almost mirroring each other, and it's going to come down to, like right now, Vinny dealing with lap traffic, or either one of the drivers making a mistake to save this battle.
And this, I was going to say, that had too many memories of what happened to Joshua Elliott right there. I was actually scared for Vincent Cortez right there.
That looks so much more efficient for Jonathan Jennings in that battle. But actually, he lost a 10th working his way past St. Cyr, even though it looked like Cortez was held up by St. Cyr through the front stretch. So intriguing how the timing worked out on that. Oh, and a blink for Cortez. and he lagged out of a league race last night, hoping he's able to at least see the checkered flag tonight.
He gets
Oh, he
a
did.
little bit there.
He did get there.
Oh, he might get that one.
Oh,
Oh man,
he's driving now. He's feeling some pressure.
man, I remember talking to Vinny. He was not very happy. He was a lot of Spectrum internet issues lately across his area. He was telling me, and you know, Spectrum's known for having a couple outages with their providers and customers. So I'm hoping he's not having that kind of issue. Hopefully he can make it through for these next 8 laps or so. But we'll see if he holds on here. Now down to 0.4 of a second though for Jonathan Jennings. Oh, Jennings, man, he looked like he sent it in that corner.
Continuing on, 7 laps to go. Jennings has closed the gap a little bit. And I wonder how aggressive either of these guys will be. Because as a playoff driver, Jennings, you don't want to, you know, make unnecessary enemies. He's locked into the next round. There's no need to, you know, make Cortez mad here, where Cortez could, you know, pay it back in the coming weeks, where Jennings could need it. On the other hand, you know, Cortez, he's battling a playoff driver, and this is just for fun. How hard is he going to battle? He might not know what their point situation is.
Yeah, I think Vinny's going to fight hard for this. I mean, you and me both know Vinny really well. I think Vinny's a really great racer and all, but I think he loves finishing great no matter what. He does it for not only himself, but also for the sponsors he has on board. I know he definitely supports them on Twitter. I see most of his social media posts. He supports his sponsors to the fullest and makes sure they're happy and all, but I think he just wants to have good finishes no matter what. Jennings, on the other hand, I think like you said, he just wants to finish the race and get out with a good finish. I think a top 3 no matter what would be great for Jennings, but I think that second place would mean a lot more to him, I think, than anything else. So it's going to be basically the battle of who wants it more between Cortez and Jennings, but my worry is if I'm Cortez, I'm not looking in that rear view all that much because I don't want to have that stress bearing down on my neck to where I could possibly put myself into a mistake and allow Jennings to capitalize on it.
Doug Solms is on the pit lane, and he's been there for almost 5 minutes. Something is amiss on the 67. I can't tell if there's damage. Try to figure out if something happened.
I do see a little bit of damage on the left front.
So yeah, doesn't look too. Oh, it does kind of look bad there. Look at that left front tire.
Yeah, it looks crinkled up a little bit.
Well, look at the left front itself. It looks like it's
Actually,
pushed
yeah.
back a little. Yeah, something.
Yeah, look, he might have had some contact maybe to a wall or a safer barrier.
Might have found it. Here's the 67 of Doug Solms, a driver. He needed a good run today, and unfortunately, Ed, this might seal his fate. I think this might have actually already happened. Go back a little bit. He's actually been driving around the track with this damaged car for a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Oh no, I think I found it now. And the thing is, you know, he needed a good run. He's fighting hard to make the next round of playoffs. He needs to, you know, improve his positioning. And fighting hard here, just misses turn 4. Oh no.
Wow, that's really odd to see that kind of mistake. I would never really see people. Wow, that's surprising. I've never seen that make kind of mistake into turn 4.
I've done it. Just trying to carry too much speed through there. That's a corner you're not actually really supposed to hit the gas. You can hit a little bit as long as you counter it with the brake, but you're actually more effective to go through that set of corners without even hitting the gas. I think he was trying to get more speed through there, and unfortunately he did not get enough brake to counter that, and that has pretty much sealed his fate, and he is still on the pit lane. That will more than likely solidify that Doug Solms also will not advance to the next round of playoffs, which should solidify Adam Gardner, Matt Rogers, Andrew St. Coeur making the next round.
And you know what sucks about that, Emerson? It's like in your head you think, I could get away with possibly doing this, but then in reality you can't. That's what sucks about that sometimes. I make that mistake many and many a times where I feel like I can get away with a little bit more gas than I should have, and actually end up making a mistake and costing myself the race. But we've all made that mistake. It's not rare or anything, so it's just unfortunate right there for Doug Solms, though.
And I feel bad, and I say this, not to be mean or anything, but he is one of the oldest drivers in the field, if not the oldest, and his reflexes are just not at the same par. He drives one-footed because his other leg is not the best. I mean, he is at some disadvantages that other drivers may have, and I think that's something maybe unfortunately reflexes and driving setup might have a part of causing.
Yeah, it's just small things, man. Small things.
It is. It is very small, and I love Doug Solms. That was no way, me trying to put him down by any means. Doug is amazing. One of the nicest guys out there. I think if you were to investigate the incident, I think that's what it would come down to.
I feel like we're going to be investigating an incident here soon between the 23 and the 91.
It's getting tight.
I don't know if Jennings is going to take much longer about being behind this 23. But he's been seeing this advertisement on the back of this 23 for Whiplash Sim Cams for a hot minute now. But our leader, Adrian Schumacher, is coming to take 2 to go. Or 3 to go, excuse me.
No, Adrian, yeah.
2 to go.
Actually, he's coming around to take the white flag next time. And
next time, yeah.
He is looking to lap Max. I wonder if Max is either A, wanting to get lapped so he can do one less lap and get out of here, or asking Adrian to leave him on the lead lap.
Well, we're about to find out here soon, because if Max hits the brakes possibly in any of these corners, he's going to get lapped.
Well, I think if he does hit the brakes, it's going to be because he wants to.
Uh-oh. He almost hit the wall again.
He got close, yeah.
If he hits that wall like he said, I swear, he called it.
We're getting close in this battle for second. 2 laps to settle this.
And lap traffic might be a little bit of an issue here too. Oh, Scott Bailey looks like he's going to get out of the way. Let these two fight for it. Jennings really had a good exit there off of 4. He's been getting good on these exits recently. It's just what can he do a little bit more differently than this 23 to possibly get a good run and a good shot to get to maybe either his inside or outside and set himself up for one of these corners. Might be able to do it here maybe if he gets a good run.
Adrian Schumacher has taken the white flag presented by Whiplash Media Sim Cams and is still behind Max Service. Here's back to the battle for second.
And Vinny ate a little curve there. But it doesn't look like any mistakes so far from Vincent Cortez in this 23 machine. Looking pretty good so far as he's coming to take the white flag at the start-finish line now. Jonathan Jennings in that Popeyes machine just trying everything he can to maybe force this 23 into a mistake. But right there, Vincent Cortez had a great launch off the exit.
Back over to half a second in the favor of Vincent Cortez, and we'll catch up with that battle after we see the rest of this. Adrian Schumacher's dominant performance. He has led 50... Oh my goodness, no. No way.
Wait for it. Wait for it. There he is.
Oh my goodness, that was scary.
That would have been a story.
Oh my goodness. But Adrian Schumacher coming through the final chicane. He'll leave Max on the lead lap. He'll get his second win of the round. Adrian Schumacher dominates the Charlotte Roval as a 1:19.240.
Okay, I couldn't even hit that time and fix. That's just... Alright.
Oh my goodness. And here's the battle. The final hoorahs for Jonathan Jennings and Cortez.
Oh, and Cortez legs out.
Oh no, and Cortez is not returning. I don't see him blinking back in.
He hasn't played back in yet.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Oh no. Court says now he's being scored behind Seth. And Jonathan Jennings, out of nowhere, he will take second. What in the world? And oh my god, Vinny
no.
is going to be mad.
Oh, he's gonna be livid.
Livid. Seth Berger now rounds out the podium, and Max Service is gonna claw his way back after being last in turn 1 to finish in 4th.
Yeah, but I just got the pop-up just now. Vincent Cortez has lagged out.
Way.
Oh, no.
Know how he had one more braking zone to hold on to second, and we don't even get to see it.
So that means he's going to finish 5th.
He'll get credited with 5th, I believe. You're right. Still have more drivers to finish. Jeremiah Stutzman is coming around. He will come across the line in 8th.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an interesting way to do it.
Actually, he might have already finished.
I think he did. Put it in reverse, Terry. No? Just gonna sit in the front. Okay.
Well, I know what's going on here, and I think you will as well, Ed.
They're doing... Wait, what?
They're setting up.
Oh, no, they're gonna ramp it.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is not gonna be good for the boys back at the Swift Racing shop.
They are taking off.
I feel bad for the Swift Racing guys back at the shop. They're gonna have to pay for all this. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Wait.
I don't think you know where. Do you not know?
Oh no, they're going the front stretch one. I thought they were going the one in the back. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Wait, no, I don't know. Okay, now I do. I'm so confused.
It only took 3 tries.
Oh my gosh!
My goodness.
Seth landed it. Max landed it. Adrian got shot into space.
My goodness. Adrian just went space shuttle status.
How did Seth land that in between? How do we know how he did that? Seth is in between the barriers.
Oh my goodness, Adrian. Where did you go?
Not to the shadow zone.
Oh my goodness. Adrian Schumacher now coming off your second win in the round. Absolute dominant performance, Adrian. That is your 4th win on the season. You're obviously setting yourself up very pretty for round number 2. But talk about this evening. Correct me if I'm wrong. It looked like you lost the lead on the initial start to Mal, and then after that, it looked like you set sail.
Yeah, I thought that was a second gear restart, but no, it was first gear.
That explained that. All right, so Adrian, obviously, I know you're still, smiling at it. You dominated, both the road courses of this round. You didn't get every lap. Vinny took a couple from you, but it's your setup, so I wonder if you'll give that a pass. What was going into the preparation for this race as opposed to Laguna Seca or Daytona?
Mostly the same thing. Just build a consistent setup. Be consistent, and hopefully it dominates, which I think it did.
Now, unfortunately, go for it.
Yeah, I was just checking the leaderboard.
Unfortunately, now we're going to be leaving your forte of road courses. Next round, you do have USA International, Talladega, and then Darlington. I feel like I think you already said Darlington's probably going to be the one you're looking forward to. But how do you take to this next round of the playoffs, being it's a whole completely different track type?
Yeah, just do the best I can. Aim for podiums for a realistic goal, and try to gain as much points as possible. Because I did a pretty good job this round, I think, and just try to point our way in like last time. like 2 seasons ago.
Well, there you go. Driver of the number 82, Adrian Schumacher. Again, dominant tonight here at the Charlotte Roval. Your second win of the round, your fourth win on the season. And Adrian, you're starting to emerge as one of those drivers that everyone's going to be looking to as a potential championship favorite. You're starting to set yourself up as one. So congratulations on the dominant victory this evening. Best luck to you in the next round of the playoffs.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
That was driver of the number 82, Adrian Schumacher. And my goodness, what a wild ride it was. We'll get to more post-race interviews in just a moment, Ed. But we do have, of course, sure. Yeah, we do, of course, have the post-race results to go through. So let's go ahead and get through them, Ed. Here we go. Of course, Adrian Schumacher dominated and won this evening with his 58 of the 60 laps led. Jonathan Jennings, out of nowhere, comes home in second. It'll be Seth Berger coming across the line in third. Max Service finishes the fourth and last car on the lead lap after Vincent Cortez lags out from second place on the final lap, heading into the final set of corners. Such an unfortunate set of circumstances. Cortez will finish fifth. McMahon then finishes sixth over Kevin Powell, seventh. Jeremiah Stutzman, eighth. Andrew St. Coeur, who has officially made it his way into the next round of the playoffs, so he'll finish ninth. Devin Smith has also made his way into the next round of the playoffs. He finishes 10th.
Yeah, and 11 to 22, Jacob Breeze finishes 3 laps down. Good value effort for that 22 bunch. In 12th place, Matt Rogers in the 96, 7 laps down, along with the 11 of Scott Bailey in 13th, 7 laps down as well, who pushes his way in the beginning of the race onto the next round. In 14th, the 67 of Doug Solms in 12th, who I just didn't have the night that we were expecting, honestly, from him. He had that little incident early on and just could never recover from it. League owner Adam Gardner in 15th, 27 laps down, who makes it on to the next round, hopefully. In 16th, the 90 of Andrew Carnelli the 4th, 27 laps down, who called it a quits early on after such a dominating performance, but had a little bit of an incident that caused him to leave early and just do things that he needed to do. In 17th, Eric Peck in the 16th, 30 laps down. 18th, the 63 of Raina Barnett, 31 laps down. 19th, the 7 of Joshua Belliet, 42 laps down, who we saw had that incident in the turn 1 Storm's heartburn turn, excuse me. And then at 28th, the 2 of Seth Fitzpatrick, 45 laps down, which was kind of surprising to see from our last week's winner.
21st would end up being Matthew Byers, and that would be the last driver who took the green in tonight's race. Don't you go anywhere, of course. We still have more post-race coverage to come, and all of that is coming up on the far side of this post-race break. Don't you go anywhere. More post-race coverage from the Outlaws Sim Series Elimination Wednesday from the Charlotte Motor Speedway Road Course, far side.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy. Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway here, of course, in Concord, North Carolina. I am Emerson Arden with Ed Scher alongside, and we're now in the post-race coverage of what was a pretty quick and intriguing road course race here at the Charlotte Roval. Not as chaotic as we expected, but there were some great battles. There was, of course, some of the spills. There were some thrills this evening as well, and there was quite the battle for a second, and I think it'd be amazing if we can try to get a word in for our second place finisher this evening, driver of the number 91, Jonathan Jennings. I know he lagged out, but even before that, what was going through your mind to try to be able to get past that 23 car at the end?
I was just trying to force him into a mistake, but he did a solid job there.
And then when he eventually did go poof in the back straightaway chicane, what was going through your mind? Well,
I was trying to figure out where he was going to pop back up at.
Well, Jonathan, go for it.
He hadn't been having issues, so I didn't expect that to happen. He had a blink here and there, but nothing quite like that.
Yeah, I think his internet's still trying to recover from being knocked out for the past couple of days. But right, so Jonathan, it looked like I mean, of course you had speed today, but this round maybe wasn't exactly your forte with being dual road courses in Milwaukee. You got a little bit more of your type next week with the short track at USA International, kicking off around with USA, Talladega, and Darlington. How are you feeling now that you kind of, you've gone through this round, you're setting yourself up for that second round?
Well, I was fine this round. Daytona, I had some steering issues, and I didn't race in Milwaukee, but luckily I had enough points. But yeah, I'm all right with the next two rounds, other than Talladega and New Atlanta. I'm comfortable other than that.
Go for it.
I said I'm comfortable other than that.
All right. Well, Jonathan Jennings, of course, one of the drivers we looked at in the regular season has definitely been a title contender, has securely made his way into that second round of playoffs, and you may even see a little bit of that little prowess come back with the short track next week at USA International. Jonathan, congratulations on the second place finish this evening, and of course, continuing your quest for a championship.
Thank you.
Driver of the number 91, Jonathan Jennings. And the driver who's probably shocked that he ended up third, driving the number 77 machine, Seth Berger. He's headed your way, Ed.
Yeah, Seth, I mean, earlier when we talked to you, you said you'd be surprised if you finished anywhere in the top three, and you didn't think you'd get past Jennings or Vinny. But you got by Vinny, so how about that one? You got a top three.
Yeah, it's definitely a win to finish top three and to not get lapped by Adrian.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I forgot you guys didn't want to get lapped by Adrian, but overall, the 77 Burghart's machine looked pretty good tonight overall. I mean, you look like you have one of the more comfortable cars, of your teammates. You have one of the more consistent nights overall, and tell us about how your night went overall, man.
After the interview that you guys had on lap 25, also make sure you go check out the interview for the code word that you could private message me for the entry into the Gene Checky giveaway. I started figuring out my lap times were getting a lot faster. Laid down my first 119s of the entire race every few laps or so that was awesome. No tire fire. You can't believe it gets faster after 30 laps.
Yeah, man, I was mentioning Emerson. I thought the way this track was with how the tires and how aggressive you guys would be on brakes, I thought you guys may have to change tires, but you guys proved me wrong by just taking fuel only. Do you think you could have maybe done strategy a little bit more different to maybe pull ahead of Jennings and Vinny? I know they were a little bit further ahead off the field, but was there another strategy maybe that you played in the back of your head that you're like, okay, maybe I can overlap these guys if I do this and that? Or were you just basically just sticking with what you had and hoping for the best?
The only other strategy was the first strategy was to not have any mistakes, and I messed that up in the first 10 laps, I think. So after that, it was kind of thrown away. But yeah, I was just gonna stick with what I had. It's awesome to get P3 with Vinny lagging out, but yeah, it sucks that I messed up at the start of the race there, and it sucks that it took me so long to figure out this road course to have the pace, because I actually started gaining on them a little bit towards the end of that race. So I found some pace. I'm not that slow at road course racing.
Yeah, well, now we're out of the road course racing mix. We move on to the second round, the playoffs, where you have a pretty comfortable cushion with all those playoff points you earned in the regular season. Now we're into a tricky round 2. What racetrack do you think in the second round do you think you're more thinking, oh, that's a track that I definitely have to work on and get more better at to where I can get points for? Is there any track out there you think you need to work on a lot to figure out and maybe do better at?
I'm going to say single-handedly USA, which I believe is next week. We ran it in the first season in the Xfinity cars, and that was fixed setup, and I went 2 laps down on pure pace. There was no mistakes. I went 2 laps down on pace. I couldn't figure it out. And now we're on open setups, have had some struggles with open setups, hasn't been quite as dominant as the fixed setup in the first season, so definitely stressing about USA a little bit, but I'm confident we could just do what we got to do and get out of there without losing too many points.
Well, Seth, overall, congratulations on your 3rd place finish, man, and hopefully that Burger Arts competition, little giveaway you got going on, goes well for you and your whole company, and we'll hopefully see you in the second round, and hopefully put your little name out there and possibly make it into the championship round.
All right, thank you, and shout out Burger Nation.
There you go, driver of the number 77, Seth Berger. Again, we talked to him mid-race, but we did pick him up again because he did get that podium. He, kind of came out of nowhere for him. We only have one other person in the Discord that we're left to talk to here, Ed. We got Jacob Reeves. You want to talk to me? You want me to?
You can get him, man.
All right, we'll bring on up driver of the number 22, Jacob Reeves. Jacob, I know this round maybe wasn't your favorite because of the dual road courses, but you made it through it, and congratulations on making it to the second round of playoffs. How you feeling now?
I'll be honest with you, I'm actually kind of celebrating that we're done with the road courses for the year. So I'm tickled to death. I was just happy just to get what I could right there. I just kind of stayed out of everybody's way, and I talked to Adam before the race. He told me that as long as I started and as long as nothing crazy happened, I was gonna be locked in. So I just like, okay, let's just ride, let's just take it easy, let's just be happy that we ain't wrecked yet. So we's happy for it.
There you go. I know now, you said you were celebrating you're done with the road courses for the season. Now you look forward to the next couple of rounds. You got coming up this round, USA International, Talladega, and Darlington. Quite a wild mix of tracks. It doesn't really get any much better the following round with Homestead, Atlanta, and North Wilkesboro. What are you looking for in the next 6 races that's gonna be punching your ticket to that Final Four?
Win. Honestly, that's what we're looking for. That's just really consistency. When I started this season, I was real bad at, not being able to finish races. I was too aggressive. I was too inexperienced with these cars, which I think everybody was, but I think everybody kind of caught on to them just a little bit faster than I did. And but I finally, my teammates Jonathan and Jeremiah and Scott and all of them, Seth, everybody's been kind of just bearing with me, trying to calm me down, get me lined up, and they've done a good job, helping me out, just to get me some experience and everything. So But I mean, Talladega is going to be the wild card for the next round. Darlington can be a wild card, and then obviously, for the round of 8, if we make it that far, which I really hope we do. I think, Atlanta. I think we're going to be running the new one with the plate racing. That one's going to be probably the biggest wild card out of the whole season, and that one's going to be the one I think everybody needs to tune in for, because you're probably going to see some crazy racing, probably see some wrecks. Hopefully, I'm not in it, but we'll just do what we can and see how far we make it.
There you go. Also, real quick, a new look on the card on the 22 this evening. What kind of drew you to that?
Something me and my wife talked about. October. I know October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and just any type of cancer. I think ovarian cancer also for October, but it's actually Pregnancy Loss and Miscarriage Awareness Month. Which is October the 15th is on that day. It's a special moment for, families that have, lost their babies and everything. So, it's actually a tribute. This is actually a better tribute, I guess you could say, for my wife and the kids, and, just, to get the awareness out there. And, it's actually, pretty slick looking car. It actually looks better with the orange rims than the other one did. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna run that for the rest of the month, October, and might go back to the old school look come November.
There you go. And I want to say, and I don't know if it's been said to you before, but I do really want to appreciate or thank you for telling your story, because I know that's hard to do. That's really hard to do no matter the amount of people to be open about stuff like that. And it's a great cause, to bring awareness to something so significant like this. And again, thank you for telling your story, and really appreciative that you're able to be so open about it, and you're bringing it to the track, and it looks nice.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, let me tell my story at the beginning of the year, and it's been something that's kind of drove me, to be able, do this, and with the blessings, I guess you could say, that me and my wife had from the good Lord up above, to be able to do this, to be able to me and her to grow stronger through that, and with my family and friends supporting me. My dad watching me, watches every single night on YouTube. He gets a kick out of it, and he always calls me at the end of the race. He's like, "You should have done this, should have done that." So it's kind of a family affair, pretty much, out of the whole deal. So it's pretty cool, to do this, and I just appreciate y'all, putting this on, and allowing everybody to watch us do what we love.
Sure thing, man. Again, great stuff as always. Appreciative for you running this season, and congratulations on making the next round of the playoffs, man. Best luck to you in the coming weeks, Jacob. And yeah, hopefully we're talking to you some more, man.
I got a feeling y'all gonna be talking to me some more. Hopefully, like I said a couple weeks ago, it's gonna be in Victor Lane, but I got a feeling y'all be talking to me here pretty soon.
I like that confidence. Right on, Jacob. All right, we'll be talking to you, man.
I appreciate it.
There it is, driver of the number 22, Jacob Reeves. And again, it is hard to put something like that out in public, but he does it. And he does it well. He carries himself with great confidence on with off the track stuff and on the track stuff. And again, Jacob Reeves, he's a rookie this season. He's still working on learning this car, learning these drivers, and he certainly is a driver I could definitely see working his way towards a potential victory by the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember the last time I talked to him, and he had the heck of a confidence to win Talladega. And would you look at that? Look what's on the second round of this sheet that we're reaching in the second round, Emerson, Talladega. So I definitely think he's one of those guys that we can definitely expect to win at the super speedways, especially with the kind of pace he brings at the super speedway. So maybe a Talladega or Atlanta win, maybe on Jacob Reeves' mind, possibly in these next coming rounds.
Well, that does it for us this evening. We're not done with the shows of this week. Coming up Sunday, Sunday afternoon will be the Sim Pit with their GTE series. Race number 2 at Road America at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a great series. I had the pleasure to call the opening round of their season last Sunday at Circuit of the Americas, and it was a fantastic race. A lot of fun, a lot of great personalities and talents in that field, and they're going to continue on with Road America this Sunday afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And then you don't want to miss another round of Advanced Legends Cup presented by Virtual Racing School VRS Advanced Legends. They're going to be at Concord Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday at South Boston, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you are intrigued by, if you want to get on one of these Pit Stop TV broadcasts, get out to show your talent, and you think you can do it in these legend coupes, sign on up for the official races at those times. They will be broadcasted. The top split will be, and if you win, you get your name out there and all that. Go and see what you can do if you have the opportunity and you feel you can. Sign on up for top split either Concord Sunday night or Sobo Tuesday night. But that's a nice little slate of races before we head to USA International for the opening race of round 2 of the Outlaws Sim Series playoffs, Ed.
Yeah, I mean, those advanced legend cars, I mean, they're such a blast, especially, I feel like South Boston is a very underrated track for a short track. I really love it. It's a fantastic track nonetheless, and maybe if we get the schedule together, I would love to put the NextGen cars on there too. That would kind of be fun.
Ooh. We might be talking a little too much chaos, but who knows? Anyway, you can check out all of the series and their updates on all of our social media platforms. Our Facebook page at facebook.com/pitstoptv. Our Instagram at instagram.com/pit_stop_TV, or just at pit_stop_TV. Our Twitter at pitstoptv_. YouTube channel, of course, youtube.com/c/pitstoptv1. And our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/pit_stop_TV. A huge shout out to all of our partners tonight, and here always a huge shout out to our partners here at Pit Stop TV. My goodness, Whiplash Media Sim Cams, which brought you the beautiful sights and sounds of the sim this evening. Of course, if you want your own broadcast camera pack, over to pitstoptv.com/whiplash and see how you can get your hands on one of these Whiplash Media Sim Cam packs. SimWrap Market, of course, is formerly known as Heatwave Designs, a website that a team that puts together a bunch of schemes across a plethora of iRacing vehicles for you to purchase and put your own spin to it and use it if you don't have the time to really paint a car, put a whole design process together, or we just want a new look. New outlook on some of the cars you're running on iRacing. Head over to simwrapmarket.com and see what kind of paint schemes they've got cooking over there for you. And of course, Permanent Makeup in Crown, Maine. You deserve the best care that money can buy. Contact them at permanentmakeupinmaine.com. And Ed, final thoughts here from the opening round here of the Charlotte Roval. Before that, we did say, of course, goodbye. Well, not goodbye, but the drivers who are eliminated from championship competition, of course. Brad Bothwell, Derek McMurtry, James Gilliard, and Doug Solms. Unfortunately, all of those drivers who entered below the cut line this evening, none of them made it above. But final thoughts here from the Roval, Ed.
Pretty intense, not gonna lie. I struggled to find a word there for a second, but I'm gonna go with intense. We had some, drama with the points and everything between Adam Gardner and Doug Solms having their issues and all that, but and then Vincent Cortez having his internet issues towards the end there, losing second place and dropping all the way to 5th, and just a lot of stuff that happened. I feel like that Kevin Powell and Max Service little kind of battle that they had going on there, where Max kind of turned him a little bit. I feel like that might linger over, you never know, but I don't know, hopefully that kind of stays where it's at right now. I know Max didn't mean it at all and everything, but that was interesting to say the least. But other than that, I'm excited. We go short track racing next week, Emerson, and you know what they say with short track racing? brings out the tempers in a lot of people.
Absolutely. The tempers are more than likely going to be flaring up next Wednesday night at USA International. But that'll do it for all of us here from Concord, here at the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. Ed Scher joined me on the call this evening. I am Emerson Arden. I thank you all for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. For all at Pit Stop TV, we'll see you every Sunday afternoon for the Sim Pit at Road America, or next Wednesday night for Outlaws Sim Series playoff action from USA International.
Have you found yourself trying to hide? After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.